Hello, everybody. I'm Aryan, the founder and technical head at MarketMind AI. This is an introductory series so that everyone and the new users and old can learn the depth of MarketMind, how to use all the features, and what all is at offer here. Because some of these things might be new types of data that many people, especially on the retail side, have not interacted with before. And even if you're an experienced trader, some of these things, just because our way of presenting them might be different from what you've seen before, this introductory series should help you out. Starting with, this is the landing page, the dashboard from where you can access all of the different specific intels, and of course they're divided by the different tier levels of subscriptions: alpha, pro, platinum, and enterprise. Let's start off with a general breakdown of each of them. So screener is your typical screener. It has your usual suspects, the ROCEs, the different ratios, but it also has some technical stuff like all-time highs, all-time lows, and our custom-built scanners like our consensus engine scanner, or positive or negative emotions by the management scanner. We'll get into all of that, so you'll understand the detail. We then have the fund browser. This allows you to track all the publicly available mutual funds, PMSs, etc., and research what exactly they're holding, since when, and at what rates, so you can track their holdings in a granular fashion. Derivatives until this is where it starts to get interesting. This, of course, takes the derivative flows for indices and stocks, all of F&O. It gives you PCRs, OI changes, all of the usual stuff. But then also we've run back tests across the matrix of different positions and probabilities, and different structures that these flows happen in. And we've derived some great signals, some of them 60-70% accurate on the basis of derivatives themselves. And so all of those are available in there along with the usual derivative data. Now we've done a similar pattern of backtesting and finding niche edges within each and every one of these intels, including the next ones, earnings and flow intels. Now the earning, of course, takes into account the latest earnings, the fundamental position of the company, and flow is the day-to-day FI, DI, and FPI, and pro and retail investor flows, trying to see through options, futures, and cash market how everyone has positioned themselves in the recent days. And of course, both of these also have backtest sections where we've pointed out uh, the really powerful signals from each of them. Moving on to the pro section, the trading DNA. Now, this is really interesting because what it does, it is asks you questions about your own trading style, and we sort of try to decipher through a map that we've configured through analysis of a lot of different traders, that tells us what sort of stocks or sort of strategies that you like to employ, and we give you customized trade bits according to your style and likings through that. The backtester allows you to run technical strategy backtest. We have 140 preloaded. Also, you can submit custom ones, and we try to filter out the bad ones and actually try to ship all of the requested strategies once a month. And So it's a continuously growing pack of strategies that you can backtest across all 2100 stocks of the NSE and all different time frames from 5 minutes all the way up to weekly and monthly. Consensus until this one I might dive into to show you some of the actual calls, because this is really interesting what it does. These ones are the latest ones, bullish, and you can from the top here look at the bearish ones as well. In total, you'll see there's only 70 stocks combined, bullish and bearish, out of the 2100. So it's really a picky system, but when it does pick stocks, let me show you beginning of March. Now, as we all know, beginning of March is when the crash started. Now, this of course is an old report, so the since signal things here are outdated. But Premier Energy, if you look at this, was our strongest with a 5.7 score back then. Now the scores have changed. The top scores are now more like 15, but that's just because we've added extra layers to the system. But the top one remains the strongest ones. Premier Energy, if you go and look at what it's done since the signal date around the 1st of March, it actually went up 35%. All the while the market was straight crashing from, as we know, from 25,000 all the way to 22,800 sort of levels, and I think even below that. So that's consensus intel. That's one of our most powerful systems there. What it does is takes all of our different quantitative data and tries to find the where niche signals are firing off across these different uncorrelated engines or intels, and it gives some really great trades through that. Now, some of what the consensus uses actually is emotional and sentiment intel, which are the two next ones we're going to discuss. Now, platinum, of course, is in sentiment. It's just that expensive to run, and but both of these are very powerful. What they do is emotional intel. It looks at the emotions of management and what sort of stuff they're pointing towards, which they might be saying directly or indirectly. We use AI models for these, so we find out hidden shifts in management tone, stuff like that. And the top and bottom quintiles actually show a 12% spread. And that's not all. Some of the top stocks here, some signals are like 20% up in 3 months with a 70-75% win rate. So some stuff in there is actually really good. Sentiment Intel does the same sort of stuff, but across retail and analysts on their private channels. Again, all back tested with different signals. Now the enterprise engine, this you have to get into contact with us directly, and we'll figure out pricing deals for you. It's not available to purchase like the rest of it on the website directly, but you can email me at aryan@marketmindai.in, or even our support team at support@marketmindai.in at any time to inquire about this, and we'll get the path started for you. Some of the really interesting stuff in here: regime until actually predicted the March crash around 6th of March, and after it we saw something like a 10% correction on the Nifty, much larger on Bank Nifty, I do believe. Commodity intel tells you live trades on basis of geopolitical rhetoric and some ratio analysis and fundamental macro flow analysis around commodities. Portfolio intel, again, it allows you to track your portfolios alongside and compare them to all of our available portfolios, run risk analysis, max drawdown analysis, all sorts of good stuff, and private portfolio analysis side. Sector regimes, sort of in combination with regime until you're supposed to use it, shows you the sector breadth of quite niche sectors. I think we have around 50 sectors in total in it. The compare, of course, is partnered with Portfolio Intel Holder Explorer, again part of that. Although you could use it to find out the exact entries and exits of many different portfolio holders and funds which really gives you a good idea of where professional money is positioning itself if you try to get into that. Geopolitical rhetoric uses live news events, geopolitical events, macro flow events that are part of the news to try to figure out what sector and what stocks are most highly affected and in what direction with what win rates. Again, everything here is back tested. This was just the first video. I'm just trying to give you a breakdown of how the what all is included here. From the next video, we'll try to get into each of the intels or screens directly or in particular, so we can really start to get into how to use MarketMind AI to trade day to day. And I'm sure this system is gonna be of use and increase everyone's profitability if it's only used diligently and regularly. It might take a little bit of time getting used to all these new quantitative sort of feature and data ideas, but we're here to help you out along the way. Thank you for watching this, and I wish you all great success in your trades. See you in the next